Hi guys and welcome to another video on this channel. Today we're going for round 16 of season 1 of the My Team career mode. It's the last round of the season and we're gonna have to score some points to get ahead of Haas in the Constructors Championship to get P10. Or maybe we can even overtake some more other teams and get maybe to P9 or even P8. But we would need some decent points for that. And it will be really hard to get that. And in the beginning the cutting is not really that smooth. It's, I don't know, I had in the recording screen freeze for a few minutes, so yeah, I can't show you everything I did on the R&D and on the other stuff. And we had to sign a new teammate actually before the last race of the season. I don't know why, but for some reason Codemasters decided to make it like this, and we decided to sign Theo Poucher, so he will race for us in the last race of this season, and he will race for us in the next season, at least till halfway point of the season. And as you can see, we are P17 at the moment, and in the Constructors Championship we are last, and we need at least 4 points to get ahead of Haas and I think Williams. I don't know which team is P9 right now, but yeah, we will have to get some points. So let's go to qualifying and try to get a good position on the starting grid to give us the opportunity to make some points. So we come around the last corner of the track to start our first lap in Q1, and we get a good rotation through turn 1, then flat out through turns 2 and 3, and actually this one is turn 4, and we go purple in the first sector, a little bit of oversteer, and we had to correct a little bit through turn 5. And we probably lost a 10th or 2 because of that. And down the long straight we go and into the braking zone. We get the rotation good through the chicane. The second corner of the chicane we went a little bit close to the sausage curb and got our car offset a little bit. And then through the relatively new corner, turn 7, we get a good run into the last sector, and this sector is so tricky, especially the braking zone for turn 10 or 11, I guess, the one where you come out of the flat out double right hander into the braking zone. it's just so easy to lock up the right front tire and to go wide. And that lap put us in P13, and I decided to go out before everyone else does because I wanted to have space and not get impeded by any AI. So we're 400s up through the first sector, and then we have a massive moment of oversteer into turn 5 where we lose some time, but at the exit we gain some time back. And then before the 100-meter board we brake. We go a little bit deep into the first part of the chicane, and then we spin at the exit of turn 6. So I need to go for another lap, but now everyone else is on their out lap, so we could get impeded on this lap. And we actually miss turn 1 completely. And then go a little bit wide out of turn 3. We are now almost 4/10 down on our best lap. And in P13 we definitely need to improve, otherwise we're out of qualifying. But we can't really get the delta into the positive as we miss another apex. But then out of turn 6 we gain a little bit of time on our previous lap, but now we catch up to the traffic. And the Williams ahead gives us dirty air, but he gets out of the way. At least he tries, but he just went on the racing line, and then the AlphaTauri just completely cut off our racing line. And then we spun and lose the left front wheel. So that means we're probably out, and we're out by 1/10 in P17. So let's go to the grid and make up for it.
It's time then for one final race at this year's Formula One World Championship. 2010 saw 4 drivers in contention for the title coming into this race, with Sebastian Vettel prevailing to become the youngest world champion to date. Is there one last sting in the tail awaiting us today? Well, it's time to find out. Here at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, the drivers will be racing here at the Yas Marina circuit through 16 corners and a lap distance of around 3.28 miles. There are a few opportunities to pass with long straights and DRS zones in 2 places, so plenty of close racing, then plenty of speed and plenty of drama to be found in the laps ahead. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. George Russell will begin today's event in pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Sainz, Perez, Fernando Alonso, Norris, Ocon, Gasly, Stroll, Bottas, Albon, Magnussen, Oscar Piastri, the owner driver, Verstappen, Joe, Teo Porcher, De Vries, Sargent, Sonoda, Enzo Fittipaldi. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. And joining me once again in the commentary box today is, of course, former World Endurance Champion Anthony Davidson. Should we kick off our conversation with George Russell?
Well, it was a really impressive lap in qualifying to get pole position, but are they going to be able to hold on to the lead into the first corner with so many quick starters around them? I'm also looking forward to seeing the different strategies in play today. Those who are starting on the red marked soft tyre are going to have a little bit more grip early on, but they have to make it count before that degradation starts to set in.
So we're gonna start the race in P15 because Verstappen and Tsunoda got penalties, and this time I decided to actually go for the 3-stop with 2 sets of softs and 2 sets of mediums, because I thought, why not try something? We definitely need to do something different to the other cars around us, because so far with doing the same. We didn't really achieve much. We only got our 3 points in the sprint around Austria, and other than that we didn't get any points at all. Only one P11 in Brazil. And now hopefully we can get some points with a different strategy, but we will see at the end of the race. And we get a good getaway, but then the Haas blocks us a little bit and Verstappen boxes us in, and actually Pourchaire does exactly what I wanted to do. He dives down the inside of some other cars in turn 1, and that's the move I wanted to make, but I got boxed in by Verstappen, and I think Magnussen, I think Hulkenberg is out of Formula 1 right now because he didn't get, I think he retired. I'm not quite sure, but I think he did. And now into turn 5 we make a move on Sargent and Verstappen. No, on Pourchaire and Verstappen, I'm sorry. And then onto lap 2, into turn 5 we make a move on Bottas. And we're now actually up 1 place from our grid position. But our tires are just overheating the whole time. And I have so much understeer. As you can see there, the front right tire was at 109 degrees, which is just way too much. And it's so understeery. And we're losing time to the cars in front, and there's a gap building, and now Verstappen overtakes us. I decided not to fight him because there's just no point. I tried to follow him, but that didn't go that well either. And then into lap 9 we have a yellow flag ahead. As I come round turn 5 there's a McLaren and we have a red flag. The McLaren facing in my direction was a little bit scary, to be honest. And here's what happened. Norris spun his car around and Ocon broke his front wing on Norris's car, and for some reason he thought he needed to retire because of that, and a red flag was a little bit overreacted by the FIA. I think a safety car would have been enough, I guess, but they, for some reason, they decided to make it a red flag. So we're gonna have a restart, and I think we're gonna start ahead of Norris because we overtook him before the red flag, but actually he starts ahead of us. So now we're gonna do a 2-stop from here with 2 sets of softs and then onto a set of medium, and now we can make the move we wanted to do at the start of the race, but actually we get caught up on the curb and lose position. So yeah, it didn't really work the way it was supposed to work. But then we make a dive on Sargent and we overtake him. But he keeps it around the outside, he keeps it side by side, and on the straight line he's just a little bit faster than us. But then into the braking zone we actually make a move not only on Sargent but on Norris as well, and Piastri goes over the sausage curb and slows down, and I did not expect that to happen. and I broke my front wing on the back of Piastri's car, and I decided not to pit because we would just lose too much time, and I think the front wing damage is not too bad, so we should be fine. And we're gonna try to stay behind Norris and follow him around with the DRS and keep P14. And then I think I broke my front wing completely, and to be honest, I don't know why. Or did I? No, I don't. I think I did not break my front wing completely. But when I went into the pits, I decided to change the wing anyways, because it's a 4-second loss. But if we don't change it, I think we would lose way more than 4 seconds. And now we come out of the pits behind everyone else. But on lap 32, I think Fittipaldi and De Vries and some other cars pitted. So now we're in P14 again. I think pretty much everyone has pitted now. And yeah, Fittipaldi just flew past us with the DRS. And he does the same thing as Piastri, and we almost break our front wing again. And we actually lost 7 seconds just 6 laps after. And then Bottas on the soft tire tries to make a move on us. He actually didn't go down the inside in the braking zone of turn 5, but then we went wide and Bottas just went through. And then at the end of the lap we pitted and we almost crashed into the pit wall again, just like we did on our first stop. I don't know, the corner into the pits is just... I just get it wrong every time. So we're going in for another set of mediums, and now we're gonna push for the last 19 laps. Probably only 18 because we got lapped. But yeah, we're gonna push for the rest of the race and make up as many places as we can. And as we come out of the pits, we instantly get blue flags. And we go wide through turn 5 on purpose to let the Aston Martin through. And then there's a Red Bull and a Ferrari behind us as well. But right behind them there's Yuki Tsunoda, and I don't want to let him through. But I have to give the Ferrari and the Red Bull some room, and Tsunoda uses that to go right through with them. But I could re-overtake him, but then the Ferrari is not fast enough, and we had to brake a little bit earlier not to get too close to him. And that Yuki Tsunoda used that to get back ahead of us. So now we're in P20, but I think some people ahead of us will make some stops, so we probably won't finish in P20. But first of all we have to overtake Yuki, because I think we were quicker than him over the whole race weekend, and I don't want to be behind him. And then into turn 5 we go down the inside, and he actually keeps it around the outside, gets a better exit, but he doesn't have DRS, so we go ahead on the straight. And we actually have a pit stop to make up to Pusher and De Vries. So yeah, in the end we overtook Pusher and I think De Vries too. So we're gonna finish the season with a P17, and we will hope the next season goes way better than this one, because we had way too many DNFs and we needed many points more. So we hope for a good next season, and maybe we can even score a podium or at least regular points.
I really feel the track layout combined with the track temperatures we saw today suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. They just look so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take the top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes.
So it's the last finish result of the season, and that's the final standings. In the end, Hamilton wins the championship by 50 points to Leclerc and 71 points to Verstappen. And then there's Russell, Sainz and Perez. So Red Bull, Ferrari and Mercedes are the top 3 teams and the top 6 drivers in the standings. And Mercedes wins the Constructors' Championship by 91 points. And we are in last place for the Constructors' Championship. We definitely need to improve on that for the next season, as we won't get any money from our sponsor or the FIA for this season. So we definitely need to finish higher up in the next season. So see you guys next time. Goodbye.